How delightful. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. You just caught me engaging in one of my favorite passions, reading literature. Oh, it's so good. Matter of fact, I was just in the middle of this copy of an American omnibus? I don't know. But not only do I enjoy the great novels of literature, I also enjoy the more lighter fare. Which brings me to today's review. This comic book I found at a dollar store. Okay, I think that's a little more like it here. Hi everybody, how you doing? I'm the Real Manos. I'm also known as Justin Cristelli. What's up? And I wanted to do a video. Actually, I wanted to discuss this comic for quite a while, and I've been on and off making YouTube videos, so my apologies to you, the general public, the at least 20 people that always watch my stuff. Thank you, by the way. So, hey, I am here to talk about this dollar store comic, from Dollar Tree specifically, I should mention, and I'll get into my thoughts about that in just a moment. But it is called Final Faction, and it actually has a subtitle, First Impact, #1, and hey, lucky us, it's the origin issue. Wow, that's great. This is a good time to just jump on board on this. Okay, first things first, let me get a few things out of the way. Last year, about around this time actually, Lindsay and I were at a Dollar Tree picking up some supplies for one of her shows, and I noticed this, and it was polybagged and had, I think it had a card in it. No, it was just polybagged. And I thought it was kind of amusing, and it took a minute to realize that this wasn't like a reprint of some comic. It was a comic made for Dollar Tree. Because also, not only that, it was designed to be part of this whole line of action figures and like accessories and vehicles and stuff like that, made to come and mimic the old 80s toy lines that were done with like TV shows and comic books to help sell you, the viewing public, their toys. And yeah, it in retrospect is a little dishonest, but there was some really good stuff created during that, particularly Transformers. I'm a huge fan of still to this day. So I guess the plan kind of worked. But that's kind of gone the way of the dodo, so hey, fast forward to 2023 as of this recording, or at least when I first discovered this. Somebody at Dollar Tree, I guess, has grown up. You know, after all, I am in my 50s now, so I'm sure there are other people my age range of Gen X that had fond memories of this stuff. So, hey, you know, if I had any kind of power at a company like Dollar Tree, I'd go like, well, wait, I got the resources. Why don't we do a thing? And I think that's what's going on here, because it really does have that feeling. This doesn't really feel half-assed at all. It really does feel full-assed as far as them really trying. And I'll get into it a little bit. We'll discuss actually the comic itself. And there is a quick side note. About a couple weeks later, there was a Christmas party where I work, and one of the employees went and bought presents for everybody at the Dollar Tree, and I picked up and it was wrapped up, and I was like, it crinkled a bit. I was like, I think I know what this is. Is this a comic book? And the people who bought me the gift started laughing, like, damn, I can't, oh. They were so hilariously frustrated that I guessed it. And I promised I would do a video about it. And okay, it's been a minute. I admit it's almost a year late. But hey, we're getting into the holiday season now as I record this. So here we go. Boy, this is a lot of to do for this thing, isn't it? But those are my experiences with this. So hey, let me get into this comic. Now, it of course starts out with our hero, or one of our lead heroes, a guy named Steadfast, and his dog Churro. And and we shoot to, let's see, where are we here? Shift, and a couple of the other main characters as they're all over the world, and they're noticing this thing falling from the sky. And the thing falling from the sky turns out to be an alien invasion with these things that kind of have like this ID4 kind of like look to them, and they start attacking in several different places all over the world. Particularly Steadfast, who's just barbecuing, minding his own business with his dog in the neighborhood. I guess he had time off from being a super soldier, and he's attacked. Let's see, and he wakes up in the hospital, and he has been. He has lost an arm, and he wakes up next to Shift, who has her feet up and the dog in her lap, and she's like, "Hey, good to see you again." So his arm has been destroyed and replaced while he was in a coma, without his permission, with cyber technology, and he is told that these evil villains from the space, from space. Called the Karn are attacking, and they have just in time come up with a whole bunch of super cool technology to fight the Karn, and they're forming a team all from soldiers across the world, not just America, and it is supposed to be their final faction. Get it in it, because it's like, this is kind of like that idea of like, we would all finally band together if we were attacked by some other from space, like, which is nice, but also suggesting that we would just continue our bad behavior, viewing someone else as the other. But that's not what this comic's about. So anyway, let's see, we get to see them get together, and we see them like kind of like forge their plans. There's the scientist who is like. She is like on the whole team. She is like, putting together super tech. And my favorite thing is she came up with some battle armor for Steadfast's Chihuahua, so the dog could like also get into the mech armor fighting. And I can't believe how hilarious and adorable this is at the same time. So anyway, the issue ends with them fighting a army of the Karn and scaring them off, and they do all sorts of their, patented, tricks and attacks and stuff like that. So we'll continue this in the next issue, actually. It is Final Faction Issue 2, Karn Kingdom, and that sounds like a great restaurant. So anyway, I was ready to, like, when I picked this up and decided to do a review of it for YouTube, I was all ready to, like, get my, smart-ass attitude and gear and start making fun of it, almost Linkara style, but I gotta admit, I was kind of charmed by this, and that may be just because this was totally... Yeah, it's technically for kids, but I really do feel like there's a lot of my generation in this. People who are the kids that were suckered into buying toys based on the cartoons, or the cartoons based on the toys. And there is that feeling in here. And when we get like 30 years apart from that, it does have this kind of like, nostalgic feeling for it. Yeah, this is very much a G.I. Joe versus Aliens, and it does seem to be aimed towards kids, frankly. The language, the writing does have this kind of like earlier, I don't want to say elementary, because it definitely is higher than the verbiage you'd see in a issue of Spidey Super Stories back in the 70s. It's a little more complex than that, but not as complex as, let's say, like a Hickman comic, for instance. It's for like a standard reading level, so it's not too complex for kids to read. And the art actually goes back and forth. It really does have like an old kind of 80s, 90s, like especially the cover. The cover has definitely like a 90s extreme vibe to it. with the detail and all the characters grunting and but inside it's a little bit more cartoony and fun, a little bit more 80s GI Joe, frankly, and this is really done with like. I really do feel like this is not as cynical as it could have been. There is this kind of like ad, this fake ad that used to see in comics when I was a kid, like, geez, from like the 30s through the 90s. These kind of ads that were obviously con men, putting ads to kids. So, like, hey, X-ray specs and a real plane that really flies that you can have. That kind of crap that we all we all used to fall for. Well, maybe not me, but particularly like the boomers always make fun of Gen X, millennials, and Zoomers for being stupid, but they're the ones who fall for this crap all the time. So don't let them get to you. I kind of like this. This was let's see. Do I have the creators here? Oh, let's see. I have the creators somewhere on here. And, it's on the back cover. The book's created, the script, the writer is Toby Osborne. The penciler for this is Chris Marinan. I don't really have them listed as a, there's actually a separate spoof ad artist, Pete McDonald, and his art is really fun to look at, and it's a separate style, which I think was probably a good idea. I don't know if these guys are the creators. I don't know if this was a thing where it was created at the corporate level first and then passed down to artists, to develop, which is a thing that used to happen, and I think probably still does. But I think they kind of take this idea and run with it. Now, granted, I was more of a Transformers guy than a G.I. Joe guy, so it's a little tiny bit less appealing to me in that regard. But if you grow up being like a G.I. Joe person, this is kind of a lot of fun. And also, like, the toy line is really ambitious, I think. And I don't know how this has been. I don't know if this has been successful for Dollar Tree. But I do kind of wish them well. I hope this kind of does well for them. And if anything, the comic is kind of a fun, how should you say, kind of nostalgic, but it's new. I don't know if there's a term for that, but there is something every so often when I see something new that just kind of hits me right there in the nostalgic field. So I enjoyed this, question mark. So I'm going to give this probably... maybe 3 to 4 RAM chips. Definitely, if you're the type that, like me, you enjoy that kind of era, this is more enjoyable than if you aren't. If you aren't, maybe this might not be your thing. So, keep that in mind. But it's at Dollar Tree. You can find it at local Dollar Tree or order it online, I assume. It's really interesting. It is cheap, and it's a lot cheaper than what you'd get from like like your standard comic. Because this has a little bit more. Since the '90s, the paper's been getting like more, professional and nicer quality and stuff like that, which has helped rise the prices up. But this is actually a little thinner. It's still not as bad as like newsprint, but it's definitely like a thinner quality, which I think might have like helped lower the price. This was like $1.25, $1.50 or something like that. So I mean, not bad. It's also a few pages less than your average comic. It's a little less than 20, but it's a quick read. I kind of dug it. I would probably give it maybe 3, a strong 3. Don't make me think. 3.5 RAM chips. Well, I recommend it. It's kind of fun. But hey, are there any unusual comics you've seen out there? Let me know in the comments below. Have you seen Final Faction? Does this interest you? Let me know in the comments below. You can click the notification bell, and for all things Manos, you can find me at, Facebook, let's see, Blue Sky, Threads. I'm still on that place. You can probably still catch me. Instagram. and Tumblr. And of course, if you want to buy Red Knight, my comic, the one I make, it's available at manospublishing.com in print and digital. Issue 7's out right now, and get it for Christmas or any other time of year that you're watching this. So, I think that's it, and I'm going to head out. I got some dollar store crap to buy, so I'm going to get going. Push the button, Lindsay.